and welcome to Big Bore Knife and Gear. Today we are going to talk about a custom knife factory knife. This one is going to be the Muscle. This one is on loan from my buddy Kyle. I'll leave a link to his information down below in the description. Kyle and Lamfer, both on YouTube and Instagram. Great content, great channel. Please go give him a like and a follow. You won't be disappointed. So let's get this sucker open. First off, it came in this beautifully padded and well-made case. Let's get a little bit of info and some specs on this real quick. This is the Ckf, or Custom Knife Factory, Customized Muscle. This one is designed by Tashi Baruka. It's got an overall length. Let's get this sucker open, by the way. Listen to this. Oh, that's awesome. Overall length of 9.33 inches. It's got a handle of about 5.4 inches. Blade length of 3.9 inches. It's got a cutting edge of 4.1 inches, as you can see. Dips down past the tip of the handle there. It's got a blade thickness of 0.196 inches. Really good stock. M390 steel. Weighs about 8.35 ounces. It's got a handle thickness of 0.61 inches. And this one is not the standard production knife, in a sense. So it's the production knife, but then it's been customized by Ckf. They only did about 100 of their own one-off customizations. So this one will not look like, or I shouldn't say look like, it will be different than any other Ckf customized versions of this knife. This one has oxidized blade. If the camera can pick this up. If you can see there, it's been oxidized. Looks really cool. And then the scales, clip and back spacer, have all been anodized in the entropic finish, or storm finish, whatever you want to call it. It's typically called entropic, but as you can see there, that little storm finish, these have been polished and then finished. It's harder to see on the actual non-polished parts of the scales, but it's the same finish. And then it was oxidized, and it is amazingly beautiful. Amazingly beautiful. So as you can see here, let's get a little bit close up on the blade. M390, the blade steel. Ckf logo. That is Tashi's, the designer's logo right there. And that's it for billboarding. On the standard production versions, let me take this off camera just real quick because I can't see it. If you can see, man, let's see if we can get that to focus. Come on, baby. They're all numbered. This one is number 488. I don't know exactly how many they made of the production, but I do know they only did about 100 of the one-off customized versions, which this is one of. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they did a run of about 500, but don't hold me to that because I really couldn't get too much information on how many of the muscles they actually made. All right, let's get into this thing. We're going to go over all the positives, and then we're going to go over 2 negatives. So if you're into big beefy knives, this thing is a big beefy knife. In my extra large hands, there's room to spare. It's extremely comfortable. It works very well. This harpoon style blade, where that cutout is, it's almost like it was made specifically for my hand. Everything falls into place perfectly. The cutout finger grooves fit absolutely perfectly, and then the swept portion of the handle here with no grooves is just an absolute joy to hold in my hand. Had this for about a week in pocket. I did do some very light cutting with it, mostly paper and one piece of cardboard. The edge has held up wonderfully. I don't know who did the sharpening on this, but Kyle, it is amazing. It is beautifully polished. So kudos if you did it, or kudos to whoever you had do it, because it's amazing. Let's get over some, try and get this camera to focus. This is a completely titanium build, except for the hardware. Frame lock design, obviously. Clip, everything is milled and matches very nicely. All the grind marks, beautifully done. I didn't get too much information on the blade grind, but this feels, let me see if I can get it to focus this way too. Yeah, it feels mostly flat, but there is a slight hollow ground to it too. So I would call this a hollow grind. But either way, extremely slicely. It goes from super thick down to very thin behind the edge. Just an absolute beast. Ergos wise, again, I couldn't be more pleased. This thing is absolutely fantastic. Also, by the way, I did check out eBay. There's actually a couple of the muscles on eBay used, going for about $450, but that's the standard production. These have been discontinued. These one-off customized ones, I'm sure, are probably fetching $1,000 or so, I would have to assume, or close to it. Let's just do a little drive-by here. From tail to tip, look at the beauty of this thing. It is just absolutely gorgeous. Pivot hardware, really nice. Just fantastic. Action on this thing. I can't even deploy it. I'm laughing, hold on. How joyous. Action on this is absolutely fantastic. Just a dream. In pocket it is big knife, which I don't mind. I have many big knives. I love big knives. When you're reaching in your pocket, it does take up a lot of room, so just be wary of that. Yeah, fantastic. Okay, let's get to the two things that, well, one thing that I don't like right off the bat. The pocket clip, even though it's beautiful and matches the entire blade perfectly, it is held in place by one screw. And if you can see here, the pocket clip just sits flush on top of the scales. There's no milling in the scales to inset the pocket clip. So what that allows it to do, I've noticed, if you can see that, it lets the pocket clip kind of move around. And this is fully tightened, I checked. That's the only drawback to this knife. The second thing I noticed, which I'm sure Kyle knows too, he got this second hand. There is a little bit, if you can see that, of detent play. Other than that, this knife is flawless and perfect. So, my only true issue is the pocket clip. It's just a nitpick, but to me, it's not a deal breaker, but it's frustrating. Again, ergonomics, this is probably the most comfortable knife I've ever put in my hand. It is just flawless fit for me. No hot spots whatsoever. Everything is mostly chamfered. There is angles, but the angled part is rounded. So it's just a joy to have in hand. Yeah, I've rambled on for almost 10 minutes now, so we're going to call it a day. Let me know what you guys think. about this knife, about other CKF knives. He did loan me another one, the Ckf 23, which I'll do a video on pretty soon. That one is a beauty, so stay tuned. Again, let me know what you guys think. Please leave me a comment because I love the feedback. Like, subscribe. Have a great day. Stay safe out there. And until next time, take care.